feel like for the 1 p.m.s, we got punished for doing something we shouldn't have done, which was take the Chargers. And with the Bucks, that's them the breaks. Like everything kept going wrong, and you kept being sucked back in, being like they're going to get that touchdown with all the momentum they had and the way the game was going with the Eagles. So you're right, brother. The 1 and 2 start's always brutal because we know we have to go 2-0, and there's no room for error. And it didn't help that the Chiefs were absolutely beating the crap out of the Ravens. And it's like, I'm going to be owning this one with the fans of the show because I was pounding the table all week for that Chiefs team. And, yeah, taking them out for the Rams was looking like a really, really dumb move. So, yeah, 3-2, like we say in the NFL, 60% any week, you can quit your day job. You've done it. So I'll take it. Anytime we can go 3-2, it's a grind to get there. But, yeah, putting back-to-back 3-2 weeks, what are we at? 12-8 now. That's
3-2 on the year, or 3-2 on the week. 12-8 on the year. We're going to go over all the games. You should be, if you're watching this on YouTube, seeing the graphic right now. 12-8 on the year. Another eking out a 3-2 week. Let's get into it. All right. If we were to look at the NFL right now as gamblers, which teams do we think look totally dead right now? I think there's one that immediately comes to mind.
I mean, there's only one. It's Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that's the only team.
Tennessee Titans in the Brian Callahan era, which now goes a season and 4 games. So that's 22 games. I think they are 3-19 against the spread, including 2-16 last year. 2-15 last year, and now so it's 3-18. I can't even do the math. They're 1-3 this year. So he's a terrible coach. They're a terrible team. Even though the Texans could only score 6 points in the early part of this game, they still couldn't do anything to make it a competitive game.
Yeah, we obviously have many blind spots. The Tennessee Titans are our biggest blind spot. I can guarantee if I go back through our picks, we probably have taken them more times than we've bet against them in our contest over that 2-year span. And it makes me hate it. I want to blame you, Chad, because I wish you were more Joe Public, because I could see if I just had some Joe Public guy, he would be what a lot of people are, which is just every week firing away against this Tennessee team as long as Callahan's the head coach. And they're winning. They've been winning for 2 years, and we keep overthinking it and not playing against them in our contest every week because the number's too big, whatever it may be. And I hate it because I know as soon as we start jumping on the train, it'll go the other way. But at what point do we just have to bite the bullet and do it? It's insane. Like, that was a non-competitive game. The Houston didn't even play that well, and they were settling for field goals. I think it was 6-0, and they're just lackluster, and just the offense of Tennessee can get nothing going, and eventually their defense just gives up. Right, they're exhausted probably. Yeah. So terrible, terrible team. Thank God we took Houston and Survivor, because there was a minute there where they're up 20 or 26-0, and the Bills are potentially about to be losing. The Chargers were kind of losing. It was like, oh my God, this is going to be that day. And me and Chad somehow dodged it. We're usually the suckers that were going to be on the Bills. Nope, didn't matter. Bills still came through. So for Survivor, I hope everyone followed that Houston one. I'm glad I got them done because, like we said, their offense, Tennessee gave that game away. I still do not trust them and CJ with that offense. But, man, it's Tennessee by far the worst team in football.
Tennessee, by the way, if we're interested, we'll go through this in 1 second. Tennessee, 8.5-point underdog at Arizona this week. So we do have a chance to bet against Tennessee this week. But one thing I want to review, September is now over in the NFL. We're through 4 weeks. Who do you think looks like the best team in the NFL? To me, it's fairly obvious who I think the best team is in the NFL. I will say it first because that way you don't have to be accused of being a homer. But how are the Eagles not the best team in the NFL right now?
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I mean, like we said, it's a week-to-week league. But for the start of what their schedule was to what they've accomplished with all the superlatives and, coming off the Super Bowl to be 4-0, I guess it is harder to argue against them. But it's tough trying to think who would be the number 2 team. To me, that's the real debate because every team right now has their warts. And like I said, that's through 4 weeks, these are very incomplete teams. These teams are just trying to figure it out as they go here. But you could make the argument that the Rams, you could put them at number 2. Like the only team they've lost to is this Eagles team. And, they have had a pretty hard schedule themselves. And they've performed well. Like that Colts game, a lot of teams would have turned on it because it was not going right their way, and they stuck in it. I'm kind of interested in your take on it because the AFC, everyone's gonna go with the Bills, but let's be honest, if their defense is still what it is right now in January, we've seen this movie with Josh Allen before. He can only do so much. He needs guys back there. So that's what, if people want to put them 2, I get it. I can't get over how bad their defense is with all the injuries. I just feel so bad for Josh. He's just so good. He should be the best team. He should be number 1 over the Eagles, but they're just not because the Eagles are, unlike them, the Eagles are healthy right now.
I think the other team that I was going to mention, leaving the Bills out of it, because I think their defense just probably isn't good enough to say they're the best, and the teams they've beaten compared to who the Eagles have beaten. You said the team earlier, the Lions. Like, they've been rolling, and they look exactly the same as they have the past couple of years when they've been one of the best teams in the NFL. Their running game has been incredibly powerful. Today, they outscored the best defense in the NFL and made them look like not a very good defense at the end of the game. They beat up on the Bears, whose offense against other teams has been doing really well. They lost to the Packers. The Packers have been incredibly competitive. They lost in their first game without their 2 coordinators. It was almost like it was set up for them to lose. Like, they're a really good team right now. Would you rather bet on if you had a Lions-Rams game on a neutral field, who are you taking?
And it's January. I'm taking the Rams.
Really?
Yeah. Again, it's Goff, man. I respect him, but he just sometimes in big moments he does not live up to the moment. So that's my issue with him. I agree with you. Tons of talent, really good team still. That's fair. Put them up there in the top 3, top 4 teams in football right now, but I still have questions about Goff.
So if we're power rating it right now, we'd probably have Eagles, Rams/Lions, Lions/Rams, and then the Buffalo Bills.
And then Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs look pretty good if they can get their weapons together. And their defense today was totally ridiculous.
If you saw the difference having Worthy just stretches the field in a way that there's no other player on their team that can do that for them. So,
but also their running game was better. Like, everyone played with a little more pep today.
Yeah.